In this episode, I go to Boston, our dinghy gets wet, we try out our new sails, and I say goodbye to my shorts.
Well, I'm here in Newcastle train station, waiting on a train, obviously, to go to Grimsby.
Welcome to Boston. No, it's not Boston, Massachusetts. It's Boston, Lincolnshire, England. Come on, let's take a look around.
This is the famous Boston Cathedral, or otherwise known as the Stump, I believe. And if all you Americans want to know where you all came from, this is pretty much it. Boston, UK. So, welcome to St. Botolph's Church, or locally known as the Stump. It's one of the oldest churches here in the UK. So this building was begun in 1309 and completed in 1390. So yeah, it took a while, Okay. This church known as the Stump is actually a heritage site of national and international significance. Not just because of its magnificence, architecture, but because it's a close association with the turbulent history of English church and indeed the world. So, let's take a look inside, shall we? Come on, let's go.
For those of you that don't know me, I just wish to point out that I'm not religious at all. However, I do appreciate the architecture that's gone into making these fine buildings.
Now, earlier on, I said this was a cathedral. I stand corrected. This is not a cathedral, it's actually a church. And it's one of the largest churches in England.
Yeah, I'm sending you up to the tower.
Yep. Eek, I'm getting sent up to the tower. Okay. Wish me luck.
Enjoy.
Cheers, love. Okay, so there's something like 240 odd steps up here. Okay, let's go. With you. Oh, no, there you Oh, see daylight. Yay! I think we made it. At least I hope so. Okay. So this is the south side of Boston. You can see the river here as it winds its way out towards the coast, and it comes out at an area called the Wash. So just over the horizon there is the county of Norfolk, England, not the USA. Oh, hi, you doing up here? Did you pay your entrance fee? Oh, I've got to crawl underneath this archway. Here we go. Ow. And now we see the west side of Boston. Got a bit of a marina down there along the river. And you can see the Lincolnshire Wolds, as they call it. Now we have a view of the north side of Boston. Over there is what they call the Boston Pilgrim Hospital. Over there. Okay, time to head back down. That's the first time I've seen the old telephone boxes anywhere for a long time. Something you don't see much of now. You don't see many of these either. Now here's something you don't see at many war memorials in any city or town in the UK. However, here in Boston, they've got some nice commemorative plaques, and this is what really caught my eye, and this is a very rare thing to see, is a plaque dedicated to the Merchant Navy. Well, there's one thing I've noticed about this town, Boston. It's a lovely place. However, it seems to be overrun with Bulgarians and Albanians all sitting around tossing it off. After a whirlwind stopover in the UK, it was now time to head back home to the Philippines. Well, after a few months of waiting, we've managed to install the undercarriage on the dinghy. So yeah, we're just going to deflate the dinghy, take it down to the yard and give it a float test. So what Randy's doing just now is removing these old, I don't know what you call them, sliders, but they basically connect the mainsail to the mast. Yeah, we're just trying to salvage these. Yeah, I think we'll need to replace them, Randy, but we can use them for now. So, last time back in the UK, I purchased 2 second-hand sails. So, we're putting up the Genoa this morning to try it out, see what it looks like. So far, so good. There was some slight damage. Some scuffs. Okay. Carry on cranking. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter than the other one, but otherwise, yeah, I'm happy with it. Right, so eventually, after many years of trusty service, the green shorts are going in the trash bin. My favourite shorts. Bye bye.
We need to make sure that they go in the trash bin, and yep.
Sit. In the banera.
some of you might remember some time ago that I installed what they call a dripless drive shaft seal. However, ever since we installed this bloody thing, I've had nothing but problems, and seems to be getting worse and worse. And what I noticed on our last sail out was, as soon as you kick the engine, or moniker as we call her, into gear, the engine literally shakes from side to side. Now, which obviously is having an effect on the mating surfaces of the dry dripless shaft seal. So what we plan to do today is to hopefully chalk down the side of the engine on either side with a block of wood to see if we can cut down on this side movement when you kick it into gear. Once you bring up the revs up to 1000, it smooths out, it's no problem. But by that time, it's kind of misaligned the dripless shaft seal, and she lets water in, which is not good. Okay, so what we've done is we've knocked a wedge in either side of the drive end of Monica to see if it will cut down on the side play, which in turn is affecting the integrity of the dripless drive shaft seal. So this is a temporary get me out of jail measure. This is not a permanent fixture. Just want to try this, see how it goes. Okay guys, if you're wondering how we got on with a leaking shaft seal, well, as you saw, we stuffed blocks of wood down either side of Monica at the drive end. She didn't like that. She spat them out. She was still pissing water through the dripless drive shaft seal. So while it was running, I went down into the engine room and fluffed around with the bellows, stationary part of the drive shaft seal arrangement. I just slightly moved that around to see if I could find a point where she would stop leaking water, and basically we kind of resolved the situation using, yep, here it is. You saw correctly, a piece of string. Now, it's not the correct thing to do, however, it's easier than trying to fluff around and readjust the alignment by a couple of millimeters. So, and she worked fine. We got her up to 1300 RPM, no sign of any leakage. Came to a stop, no sign of any leakage. So it's not a permanent solution, it's a temporary solution. So we'll go with it just now and see how we go. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is open up this tank lid, which we've never managed to do. I think this is our third attempt. Managed to get a small pinch back. However, it don't look like it's doing much. So we're finally getting somewhere. We've managed to get the crowbar in there and place some screws in there as well as we go around trying to break this seal. Yay, eventually we got this bloody lid off. Took a bit of trying, still a little bit of water in there. So after a bit of scrubbing, yeah, it's come up not too bad. I'm absolutely amazed that it's in such a good condition as it is, all considering. Now this is the first time we've ever opened up one of these tanks because we struggled before, but yeah, not too bad. So Randy's cleaning up the threads on these studs.
We've put some rust converter in the tank, rinsed it all off. All's looking good. Some of you might remember some time ago we had problems with our emergency steering tiller system, and I pulled it all off, cleaned it all up, put it all back. However, I had a problem trying to find lip seals. Anyway, eventually managed to get some seals. So this morning's job is I'm going to take it off. Hopefully the seals fit. Put it all back. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so that's the emergency steering out. Just leaves me now to give it a good clean up and hopefully fit the new seal. Okay, so there we have it, the new lip seal installed. It's all been cleaned up, so yeah, another good job done on the cheap. Well, during the week Randy made some battens for this mainsail. However, I'm not that impressed, or I don't even think it's correct. I think we're gonna have to make some adjustments to these battens. Maybe make them a little thinner, probably a bit too stiff. I'm not too happy the way the sail's sitting here, but otherwise, yeah, we're out for the day. Randy's on the wheel. What's our Liz doing? Our Liz is sleeping. There's Randy on the wheel, and our Liz is sleeping.